Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh, and his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekah Korash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishops and elders of the great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the I can push in the truth and believe in his truth with the four winds of the earth. The entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Agwath who are listening learning. If you sisters who are listening learning, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, will be edifying. And bear with me for a second, because I'm going to change the title of this lesson. So, which I want to title it, Their Knowledge is Confusion, which is prophecies. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, knowledge is confusion, but it's prophecies. Because in Psalm 17 and 13, the Lord said he using Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the elites of them, as a tool, as his sword. And when you read in Revelation 16, the whole goal for Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is to draw out the nations to go to war. Let me read it. So their wisdom, the knowledge that the so-called white man has. Let's get this. It was designed for them to cause the nations to be drawn to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. This is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. And these three unclean spirits, you got London, monetary, you got Washington, military, and you got Rome for for our religion. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to do what? To gather them to the battle of the great day of the God Almighty, of God Almighty. And tell you the same thing in Revelation 20, right? Let me read that one. He go out of the caves. He came out of the cave. The Lord raised him up to come out of the caves. Revelation 20 and 7. Just to draw out the kings of the earth, man, to go to war. This Revelation 27, when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loose out of his prison, which is the seeds of Satan. The spiritual demon Satan has physical seeds on earth. Tell you that in Genesis 3 and 15. And shall go out to deceive the nations, which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to do what? To gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So this is the goal. This is the goal that Yahweh Shema Shah set up in his movie. Now let's play this. I got two clips I want to play. This one first being from Jeffrey Sachs. Listen to this. Oh, let me turn this volume down.
Is there any hope that the U.S. and Ukraine are going to be trying to negotiate for some sort of peace agreement with Russia?
This is, Kim, not unlike the virus story in that the government lies relentlessly about why we are in this war to the east every step of the way. And the Russians kept saying, don't expand NATO towards us. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. to Ukraine, we don't want your military on our border. You get it? And the United States said, what? We don't hear you. No, don't worry. We're peace loving. We love you. We want to destroy you. We want to decolonize you. We want to break you up. We want to do all sorts, but we love you. And we never go to war, except in bombing Belgrade for 7 straight weeks. And, oh yeah, and Afghanistan we occupied for 15 years as NATO, and the Iraq War was unprovoked. And yeah, we tried to overthrow your ally Assad with the CIA regime change operation. And oh yeah, NATO took out Gaddafi. And yeah, we are placing missiles nearby you in Poland and Romania because we unilaterally abandoned the anti-ballistic missile treaty. But we're peace loving, and of course we're going to move NATO right up to your 2,300 kilometer border, and not just in Ukraine, but we're going to do it in Georgia. Fascinating, by the way. People, please take out a map and look up Georgia, not the one in next to Florida, but Georgia in the Black Sea, on the eastern boundary of the Black Sea, because that country is not a North Atlantic country. So why would it ever be in NATO? And yet the United States wants to push NATO to Georgia. And if you look at a map, I can explain in 30 seconds why that is, because the intention of the United States is to surround Russia in the Black Sea. Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, and Georgia creates an encirclement. And Russia's naval fleet, the Black Sea warm water naval fleet, is in Sevastopol, Crimea. Good move. If you're trying to push NATO, and there's a president, Blinken, Nuland, have been part of this story since 2014, and really before, because Biden's always been an advocate of NATO enlargement. Biden's got some dark side still to be explained about Ukraine as well, because of Hunter's involvement. We don't know what that is yet, but there's something not good at all about that. But I think Nuland has been on this case of NATO enlargement. She was actually the ambassador under Bush Jr. in 2008 to where? To NATO. In the 2008 meeting, when the US pushed the proposition and forced everyone to agree that Ukraine would become a member of NATO. So Nuland's been part of this story from way back when, from the Cheney Bush days, and she continued through the Obama administration days as the point person for the overthrow of Yanukovych in the US government and for the NATO enlargement issues. And then we started arming Ukraine heavily, especially in the late 2010s. And then Biden really doubled down when he became president and repeated actually in several high-level processes that Ukraine will become a member of NATO. And to bring us to today, and just to conclude, on December 17th, 2021, President Putin tabled a Russia-NATO security agreement in a draft based on no more NATO enlargement. And I happened to call the White House after that, said, avoid a war, negotiate. It's not even a concession. Why do we want NATO in Ukraine? It's going to provoke disaster. And I was told, oh, don't worry about it, Professor Sachs, but we'll never negotiate over NATO enlargement. It's none of Russia's business. And I said, none of Russia's business? Are you kidding? It's their border, 2,300 kilometers. How can it not be their business where the American military alliances? But we are so arrogant that we treated it as if don't have to talk to Russia about it. Then as soon as this special military operation was launched in February 2022, Zelensky said, okay, we could be neutral. And they actually exchanged documents, drafts, and negotiated a peace arrangement a year and a half ago in March 2022. And I talked to the negotiators, by the way. I talked to the mediators, the Turkish government, in detail. And you know what happened? The United States came in and said, neutrality. You fight on. We have your back. You're going to win. You defeat Russia. Okay, now there are hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians dead. This counteroffensive of June, July, August, and September is a killing field. Ukraine doesn't have the weapons, the manpower, the training, the air cover, the artillery to do this, even if it were desirable to do. They don't have it, so they're getting smashed. And Biden doesn't have the gumption to say, this was a terrible blunder. We need to agree that NATO won't enlarge and save Ukraine, but rather, we're all with you for as long as it takes, meaning how many more hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians dead as long as it takes? Oh, come on, I'm 68 years old. I know what it means as long as it takes. It means some moment the US leaves. That's what it means as long as it takes, with a lot of dead in Ukraine in a country that has been absolutely pummeled by artillery nonstop, basically, on both sides since February 2022, but with a lot of shooting and killing that took place since February 2014. This is terrible. This is destroying Ukraine. This isn't protecting Ukraine. And so this is the real story. But again, the government lies to us. We don't get to debate it. And if you say it, you're a Putin propagandist, you're called. But I have written an op-ed in the last couple of days that I've put online where the Secretary General of NATO himself, someone I know quite well for a long time, Jens Stoltenberg, said when he was speaking in the European Parliament that Putin went to war to stop NATO enlargement. But we don't have to negotiate with him. Well, great favor to Ukraine.
It's interesting. I'm just looking at this map from what you're saying, and yeah, NATO has nearly successfully, completely cut Russia off from various bodies of water. I mean, you've got the Black Sea, what you're mentioning, and if they could get Georgia and the rest of Ukraine, and then they'll have every other area around that Black Sea, the Baltic Sea as well. They've cut them off from the Baltic Sea with Finland.
These are choke points.
Yeah. Right.
Again, you see the name of this? The deception surrounding the origins of the war. What war? Two precepts, actually three precepts, real quick. You see it? Jeffrey Sachs interview, the deception surrounding the origins of war. This, everything that's going on, as I read to you in Revelation 16 and 13, right? Did the whole goings forth of these three unclean spirits is to gather the kings of the earth to the battle, man. Because everybody put their hands on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. This is the end goal of Yahweh's movie, to gather these nations. Esau, Edom, the elites, because they control both sides of the war. This is why they was set up, man. This is Revelation chapter 9 and 12. It reads, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. This is Isaiah 9 and 4. Isaiah 9 and 5, it reads, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. This is how they fought in the ancient time. When you watch movies like Patriot, Troy. What's the movie with I think it was Troy with Achilles. You got Troy, Patriot, right? The old movies when they charged out with the swords, shears, spears, and daggers, armor, body armor. Oh, the movie King, beautiful movie. The movie King, which is the same guy that played in the movie Doom. So, Genghis Khan. What's the show on Netflix? I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the show. Good show on Netflix, man. Even in that show, to show you how Genghis Khan, which was Moabite, he had his wives to pick out his other wives, man. But anyway, during the time, we watched the movie with Alexander the Great, right? Alexander. Show you how they fought in ancient time on both sides of the field, charging at each other on horses, men on foot, with spears, shields, daggers, swords, knives, right? That's what this talking about right here in Isaiah 9 to 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. That noise is yelling out, charge, and you hear all the grunting and it say for every battle warrior with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this, what's the this? World War III, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So right here, he titled it the deception surrounding the origins of war. Why is it a deception? Because this is how the Lord set up the movie, man. Let's finish this. Couple more minutes.
Cut them off from the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea. I'm curious if the Caspian Sea is next. I mean, is
Yeah.
that what you think they're going to go after that one as well?
Look, I don't know if you have used to play Risk. Do you know that board game?
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
board game of my youth. The idea was to have your piece on every part of the world map. Then you had taken over the world. Well, that's the neocon vision. They're playing Risk, playing Risk at the expense of vast numbers of deaths in many parts of the world. They want to have the U.S. military or subservient governments or supplicant governments or pliant governments everywhere on the map of the world. And this is pretty relentless. And it's kind of manifest destiny writ at the global scale. It used to be at the continental scale. Nothing can stop us. We take over all of North America.
And it is manifest destiny, man. I just read it in Revelation 16 and 13. These three unclean spirits, man, is drawing the kings of the earth to go out to fight, man, because they all put their hands on us. And the judgment that's going on with Arab, with the Ishmaelites, is prophecy, man. The judgment that's playing out between the Edomites and the Ishmaelites is prophecy. Elam, Elam getting judged too, man. Ham been getting judged, okay? Japhet been getting judged, man. They all had their hands on us.
Native Americans notwithstanding, and so forth. Uh, this is manifest destiny at the global level. The only
See, he said manifest destiny of the on a global level because he's talking in code about the elites. These are the ones that controlling all this, man. These are the ones that's doing this.
problem is others don't quite share this idea, and we are getting into an awful lot of wars, and they're very dangerous, very dangerous. This is a war with a nuclear superpower and obviously a very powerful military. And Russia has 6,000 nuclear warheads. And they're gunning after China, at least a lot of politicians in Washington. I think in the last few weeks, Biden is trying to pull back a little bit, I think, from the brink, but scared always of his right flank that he'll be attacked for being soft on China and so forth. But there are a lot of hardliners on China that seem really to be preparing for war. Can you imagine anything more reckless, stupid, unnecessary, potentially uh, Armageddon than that? I can't. So
See, prophecy, man, prophecy. I got to go back to Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast, which the dragon is the Roman Empire. The beast is the revived Roman Empire, which is EU, NATO, and America. And out of the mouth of the false prophet, which is the Vatican City, the Roman Catholic dogma. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth. These are 17 heathen, the 16 heathen nations, because one of the nations out of the 17 is the Edomites. They controlling this, and of the whole world to gather them to battle to the of the great day of power Almighty. And he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. What did he just say? See, they be speaking prophecy and don't know that they speaking it.
preparing for war. Can you imagine anything more reckless, stupid, unnecessary, potentially Armageddon than that? I can't. So
Call out Yahweh Shema Shai, man. This is what we've been waiting for, man. Call out Yahweh Shema Shai, man.
all of this is mind-boggling to me, but the basic answer to your question is no rational reason other than that they think they're playing global hegemon and they need their piece on every part of the map.
See? So let me get this next one. And I know the brother Nahar, you're gonna love this. This is from Chris Hedges. I'm gonna play some of this and I'm gonna get some precepts. I ain't gonna play all of it because it's like 27 minutes. But before I show that, let me show you this. Lock you. This title reads State Department official resigns. Why? Says Israel is using civilians in Gaza. This is from Democracy Now. See the title? State Department official resigns. Why? Says Israel is using U.S. arms to massacre civilians in Gaza. Now let me get this. Let's go. This Chris Hedges. You see it? Yeah, man. This is the deception surrounding war, as Jeffrey Sachs mentioned. Now, this is some words from Chris Hedges. He's on this show from this guy, The Real News, with Mark Steiner. Listen.
Real news. And this segment of the Mark Steiner Show will look where this war is going in Gaza, not only where it might take Palestinians and Israelis, but the entire world. My guest is Chris Hedges, a journalist here at the Real News who you know lived and covered Gaza, was Middle East bureau chief for the New York Times, covered the wars in Iraq and the former Yugoslavia, and here at the Real News has the Chris Hedges Report. Chris, thanks. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you got 10 different interviews and on your way out, so it's good to have you here. Let me just start with one of the obvious questions people are asking. What is the end game here for Israel, do you think? What do you think we're marching towards?
Well, most of the people in the Netanyahu government, including Netanyahu himself, have been quite clear for often decades what the end game is, and that's the destruction of the state or even the idea of Palestine. And that will be accomplished through acts of genocide and ethnic cleansing. And I fully expect things to get worse in Gaza. I mean, they're bombing the hospitals now. There's not enough food or water. Israel is impervious to requests from Washington because of the Israel lobby. They have traditionally Israel, because of the power of the Israel lobby, doesn't really matter what any administration wants. They humiliated Biden when he was vice president and called for a moratorium on settlements, and then the day he was in Jerusalem, announced an expansion of settlements. They bypassed the White House to go speak by Netanyahu to go speak before Congress to denounce the Iran deal. They know that, in essence, the Biden administration can't touch the military aid and has no ability to really pressure the government to halt this massive bombing campaign. And I want to put that bombing campaign in perspective. I was in Sarajevo during the war. We were being hit with 300 to 400 shells a day, 4 to 5 dead a day, 2 dozen wounded a day, and I don't want to minimize that. I almost 30 years later still have nightmares because of it. But that's nothing compared to what's happening in Gaza. I mean, the first 2 weeks, they damaged or destroyed 45% of the housing stock. They've dropped, I think it was just in the first 2 weeks, 20,000 tons of bombs. I mean, this is, a Stalingrad level. It's as bad as Sarajevo was. It doesn't come close. Thousands of Palestinians are trapped under the rubble. And they have surrounded the northern part. I mean, they will do it piecemeal. They learned that from the Americans in Fallujah. You don't essentially attack on a wide front. You break up your urban areas into sectors that you then dominate. So they've cut off Gaza City from the south, which is Gaza's largest city, about 700,000 people.
And they're about to go in.
Well, they'll go in. I mean, they don't want to. The problem with urban warfare, which I've been in, is that all of your heavy machinery doesn't really give you much of an advantage. So I think that it's saturation bombing. Uh, I mean, they will keep the northern part of Gaza cordoned off, surrounded, but I expect them to kind of bomb their way to victory, or what they're going to continue or call victory.
Right.
They don't really want to start crawling through the rubble fighting Hamas fighters. The tunnels are an issue. We don't know how big, but they're big. But they need generators in order to pump down air into the tunnels.
Right.
I think most of the hostages are probably in the tunnels. This is also a very cynical decision on the part of the Netanyahu government. I don't think many of those hostages are going to come back. I think they know that and they don't care. They've cut off food in essence. They've cut off water. I mean, the trucks that have come over through Rafah it's negligible. It's a very cynical kind of public relations ploy, but it doesn't do anything to alleviate the tremendous suffering. So I expect that they will push what remains of the Gaza population over the border into the Sinai, into Egypt, and they will never come back. And there have been reports in the Egyptian press that the Americans have approached the Sisi government. The Egyptian economy is in a mess. It's over $160 billion in debt. And they will offer financial incentives. And probably if that doesn't work, they'll use threats and to do Israel's bidding. And in essence, Gaza, Gaza as we know it, and I spent 7 years covering Gaza. My office was right in the center of Gaza City. It just won't exist.
So 2 questions here that popped in my head as you were speaking. I mean, talking to people yesterday about Uganda and Entebbe and the airport and rescuing the hostages that took place. Talk a bit about, since from your experience covering wars and what's happening right now in Gaza, why couldn't Israel have done that? Why couldn't Israel simply have gone in, found out where the hostages are, and rescued as many as possible? What do you think? Was that possible, or was that impossible?
No, because first of all, the hostages are dispersed over a wide area, and second of all, they're underground. You knew they were on the plane in Entebbe. They were in an enclosed space. This is completely.
So I was playing this so you can listen to. As the title, Chris Hedges, Israel's end game in Palestine is genocide. And this is what he have done to every nation on the planet, man. Let's get these precepts. This is what Esau Edom The so-called white man, the elites. And that's why I say I got to get these three precepts. Let me get these. Salakia. Let me pull these up. So you got the one in Michael. This is Michael. I'm gonna start at 1. This is Micah 2 and 1. Woe to him that divides iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence. By violence. As I tell you in Matthew 11 and 12, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent took it by force. It say, and they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family, the Edomites, the Idumeans, do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. This is Micah 2 and 4. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with the doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He have changed the portion of my people. How have he removed it from me? Turned away, he have divided our fields. See, it's saying that they want to take up a parable, right? This is Habakkuk 2 and 6. It reads, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay, which is their debt, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Which is in Isaiah 14, which is Revelation 17 and 16, when it say, the 10 horns upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. See this? It said, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for violence of the land. They go violence again of the city and for all that dwell therein. Now, it said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Right? In Job, is that Job 20? Let's get this. See, now the people, which is Edomites mostly, but all nations is rising up. And uh Elder Karatazar from Vegas had did a lesson on this Elamite, man. This Elamite, she was the Elam of Ishmael, and she was saying, she was talking about how what was the title? The oppressed is seeing the things that are of oppression is being revealed, or some kind. I forgot how it's worded. And I was trying to get the elder to send it to me because I wanted to play it, man. This Ishmaelite, well, she had to be Elon, talking about the oppression of Negroes in America, man. And the elder was making a point about how now, because Esau is vexing all these nations, now they want to bring up what happened to so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, only because now they getting oppressed. Now they are being vexed by Esau. This is Job 20 and 18. That which he laid before shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down according to his substance, shall the restitution be. And this is in the law in the Exodus 22. When it said according to his substance, shall the restitution be. Esau got to pay back restitution. That's in Exodus 22. It said if he's stealing from the ox, he got to pay back 5. It reads, and he shall not rejoice therein. Here's the point I want to make. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away in the house which he built not. Right? Now when what is that? When it says Hold on, let me get it. Salaki, bear with me here. Because going back to Habakkuk, right? Going back to Habakkuk. Hold on 1 second. It's Job 20. Trying to find this verse. Let me see. Because in Habakkuk, let me go back to this. In Habakkuk 2:7 it reads, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. So in Job, hold on, bear with me here. So in Job, right here in this same chapter, in Job 18, Job 20 and 22, you read this again, it reads, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down according to his substance, shall the restitution be. And that's in Exodus 22. And he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently, they go violent again the third time, because he hath violently taken away the house which he built up not. Right? Right here, 22 is saying, the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Here's the point I want to make. Because it's saying right here, Habakkuk 2:7, shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Because every hand is going to come upon them, man. Now, that was an intro. Now, dealing with the title of the lesson, right? Their knowledge is confusion, which is prophecy. Hey, he said, much appreciation for your lessons, John Daniel. Hey, all praise to you. How about Shema Bashah? Bahashim Rakah Kodash. It ain't me, brother. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Bashah. Spirit of the Lord. But the water. So let's get here. Because the Lord said, let me read this. This is Proverbs. This is Proverbs 25:2. It reads, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, right? It's the glory of Yahweh to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Now you can't search out any matters that the Lord have concealed, least he give it to you to search, right? Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. In Obadiah 1:6 reads this. See, the Lord concealed it, but in the end, he said, when you read in 2 Thessalonians 2, right, verse 4, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, that the son of the son of perdition, the man of sin, he shall be revealed in his time. And how has he been revealed? It's through the worldwide unicorn, the world wide web, which is called the unicorn in Job 39, right? He's been revealed through the unicorn. Well, without the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, he wouldn't be revealed. So I want to dig into this to show you that the wisdom of the so-called white man is the prophecies of the Lord, man. It say Proverbs 25:2, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings, which is the Israelites, the men, is to search out a matter, right? Obadiah 1:6. It reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his things, Salakia, how are his hidden things sought up? Because the Lord concealed it, right? But it says for king to search out a matter. Well, these kings, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, has given them the spiritual eyesight. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right? Amos 3:7. It reads, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Right? Now remember what it said in Proverbs 25:2. It said, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, and it's for kings to search out these matters. In Deuteronomy 29:29. Amos 3:7 says, surely the Lord God doeth nothing, but he revealeth his secret to his servants, the prophets, right? Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belong unto Yahweh, our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us. To do what? And to our children forever, that we may do all the works of his law, of this law. So the Lord revealed them so we can make them known to the remnant. Also, Psalms, and this is beautiful because Esau Edom's knowledge in the world is foolishness, but it's the prophets of the Lord, man. Because these are the one the Lord using in Psalm 17:13 to bring forth the prophecies. That Revelation 16, man, to draw out the nations to go to war. This is Psalms 25:14. The secret of Yahweh is with them that fear him, and only 1/3 fear the Lord, man. That's 144,000 plus the unknown multitude. These are the ones that fear Yahweh Shema Shah. But remember, it reads in Revelation, the 144,000. These are all men whom the Lord hath given the Holy Spirit to the eyesight to reveal these mysteries to the unknown multitude. See, the unknown multitude wakes up from hearing these 144,000 men, whomever they are. Some are in the spiritual realm, most of the 144,000 here on earth. The secret of Yahweh is with them that fear him. That's why I said in Amos 3:7. And he will show them his covenant. Right? Now, again, it said, let's go back to this. This is beautiful, man. Proverbs 25:2. It reads, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings, which is the remnant of Israel, is to search out a matter. And how do we search? The Heavenly Father Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, put the spirit on Apostle Ha to come across the blue letter, man. And we have heard the stories of how before the unicorn was set up, the World Wide Web, the apostles had to go to the libraries and rent out books and search out these matters, man. This is what's happening. This is what has happened. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Because the Lord gave the Holy Spirit to Elder Albert Bivens, and he put the Spirit into our elders, man. And they've been searching out these matters. Now here we are today searching out these matters, man. And it's foolproof. That's why you got some slow belly niggas still calling on Yah or Yahshua or Yeshua or Yahuwah. The Lord ain't dealing with them, man. Or niggas that still wanna wear Shiva Jatas, aka dreads, BKA uh locks. Them some slow belly niggas, man. The Lord have revealed this truth, man. But it's for kings to search out a matter. You gotta do your studies, man. It tell you in 2 Timothy, man. Right? Study to show thyself approved in 2 Timothy 2 and 15. Or what is that? 2 Peter's 1 and 10. You gotta, the Lord gave you the spirit to search out these matters. Now we see. I did a beautiful Lord, it can't boast, but a beautiful lesson I did, man. Going into the Dukes of Edom, man. And it's still on Google right now, man. The Dukes of Edom. All the way back. It said from 1335 to right now, man. And it had Prince Charles and his son. What's his son name that's married to the chick, Megan, whom the queen, she didn't even like her. Yeah, man. It said the Dukes of Wales, the Dukes of Belgium, the Dukes, they the Dukes of Edom. That's in Genesis 36. But here it is. It's still on Google. The Dukes who control the world, man. They ain't Greeks or Romans. They ain't white or Caucasian. These are the Dukes of Edom, man. The Lord, the Lord put the spirit on the apostles, elder bishops, and elders and brothers to search out these matters. And therefore, lead it to what? Obadiah, again, 1 and 6. This is spiritual, man. Either you have eaten a roll, either you have eaten Yahweh's flesh and drinking his blood or not. And if you haven't, then you ain't a part of his body, man. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? It's through the spirit of Yahweh Shemabashah that put the spirit on brothers, the apostles and elders, to search out for kings, to search out these matters. Luke. It's called precept upon precept, man. Luke 8 and 17. It reads, for nothing is secret. Huh? What, Lord? For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad, man. The Lord said it. And let me read it. Let me just read it. Jeremiah 49 and 7. Let's read this. Jeremiah 49 and 7 reads, concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? He's talking about the elites. Is their wisdom vanished? The Lord say, Jeremiah 49 and 10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. Huh? Let's go back to Luke 8. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known and come abroad. And this is through the Holy Spirit. How? Let's go back to Obadiah. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Let me show you how. This is Colossians. Kala Yabashimam Shah for this truth, man. For opening us up to this, man. These bastards been in our face the whole time. And all your life, you knew it was something about them that just wasn't right. Colossians 1 and 26. Even the mystery, which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. Okay? Now, In Habakkuk 2, I want to deal with these bastards, right? In Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at 4. Listen to this, because this cannot be made up, man. It was already written a 4 time ago for our learning. It cannot be made up. Slow belly nigga to my the white man wrote the Bible. You dumbass niggas. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul. Whose soul? The so-called white man's. Behold, his soul, Esau, Edom, the Idumeans, is lifted up. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And we know he's not upright. Because when you go to Psalm 37, matter of fact, let me go to it just to show you, to make this point. In Psalm 37 and 14, it reads this. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent the bow. To do what? To cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. This is not a part of them. The Lord said, "We have made crooked cannot be straightened." In Ecclesiastes 7, the Lord made them crooked. In Isaiah 27 and 1, they known as the crooked serpent. Okay, that's why I tell you in Philippians 3 and 15, the remnant will shine as lights in the world in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. Who control this nation? It tell you in Ephesians 6, was that Ephesians 6 and 12, that we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. The rulers of the darkness of this world. It's the so-called white man, the elites. So going back, it say, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also because he, who, the elites, the so-called white man, because he transgressive by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. They got over 700 military bases around the world. That's why I say he neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. That's why the UN is in America, and every nation had to join to America through the UN. Who enlargeth his desire as hell. That's what the elites have done, using America to control the world, man. The elites control the world from America. America is the headquarters. Just like in the kingdom of heaven, Jerusalem is going to be the headquarters for the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, which would not be no more terms. We will be known as the Hebrew Israelites from our respected tribes. Jerusalem will be the headquarters, and the world is going to be enlarged from Jerusalem. He also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Why? Because what? It say, who enlargeth his desires hell and his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? Now it say he transgressed by wine. Now, let me show you. Let me go to this. Let me show you that this ain't talking about him with Merlot, okay? Which is the word wine in the Hebrew is yayan, right? They got here yayin, which is yayan. It say as fermented, by implication, intoxication, banqueting, wine. And this is what Esau do. His philosophies is intoxication. Let me show you. This ain't talking about drinking no damn wine, man. This is Isaiah 29 and 9. It reads, stay yourselves in wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. If they ain't drunken with wine, what they drunk with? They stagger, but not with strong drink. So if it's not strong, if it's not tequila or vodka or cognac, then what is they drunk with? If it's not Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet, what is it? Uh, what's the other one? Uh, these Edomites love to drink. Uh, Sauvignon Blanc, right? Or what's the other one? The one that's real fire. Pinot Noir, right? Stay yourselves in wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. Then what is the world drunk with? What is the intoxication that the world is drunk with? Colossians. This is Colossians 2 and 8. And it reads, beware, lest any man spoil you through what? Philosophy and vain deceit. Let's look at this word philosophy. This is the wine of the so-called white man. It ain't talking about being drunk with no wine, man. It's talking about the philosophies of the West. You have been westernized, as the term is, that we heard from our spiritual fathers. You have been, we was westernized. It say use either of zeal for zeal or skill in any art or science, any branch of knowledge. It's a use in the Old Testament of the theology, or rather theosophy, uh, uh, theosophy of certain Jewish Christians eccentrics, which busied itself with refined and speculative inquiries into the nature and classes of angels, into the ritual of Mosaic law, and off. See, philosophy. Look, Jewish uh, sophistry, philosophy. Let's go to. Let me show you what it's talking about. This is Second Timothy. What is that? Second Timothy. Hold on. I forget it right off. Let me pull it up. Oh, hold on. Let me get this one. Let's get this one first. First Timothy. Let's get this one first. Let me read this one. Let me see. No. So hold on, bear with me. Let me pull this up. You brothers know where I'm going. Cause the first thing they mentioned, the first thing they mentioned was the first thing they mentioned in that. Let me go back to it. Was what they said. Use either of zeal for or skill in any art or science, any branch of knowledge, right? They got theology. So First Timothy 6, First Timothy 6 and 20, which is also Second Thessalonians, which I'm going to read as well. It said, O Timothy, commit that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. Right? This is the philosophy of the so-called white man. Train us up through conditioning and gradualism to go to school, right? Graduate. When you graduate, you go to college and get you a PhD or a master's or a bachelor's or some associates, right? Or your degrees and doctors of life, right? You see, of science, right? And it's a falsely so called. So for falsely so called is G 5581, right? It's a untruly named falsely so called. Right? Let's go back to this. Science. Knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding, in general knowledge of Christian religion, the deeper, more perfect, and enlarged knowledge of this religion, such as belongs to the more advanced. It's a moral wisdom, such as is seen in right living, knowing the act implication knowledge, science, right? But in falsely, it said, Salakia, it said right here, let's play the word.
Strong's G 5581. Pseudonymous. Pseudonymous.
Which is falsely, untrue. Let me see what this strong say. No, that ain't that. Let's go back to this. Let me get the one in Second Thessalonians. Because it tell you, it say, right here, Allah Yahweh Shema Shai, pop right on up for me. As a spirit. I ain't had to type it in. Second Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? These lying wonders, let's go to this lying wonders. Go back to that First Timothy 6. Right here, lying. Pseudos.
Strong's G 5579. Pseudos. Pseudos.
See, you say lie, lying, a lie. Conscious and intentional falsehood. In a broad sense, whatever is not what it seems to be. A perverse, impious, deceitful precepts. A falsehood, lie, lying. What's G5574 say? See, falsely, to lie, to speak deliberate falsehood, to deceive one by a lie, to lie to. See, to utter an untruth, which is said in 1 Timothy 6 and 20, or attempt to deceive by falsehood. That's why when you go to Job 13 and 4, right? It reads this. But ye are forges of lies, ye are physicians of no value, right? In Psalms, what is that? Psalms 119 and 69. This is what they have done in the earth, man. But the Lord set them up to do this. Psalms 119 and 69. The proud, remember what it said about those that lift up themselves? The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart, which is precepts, meaning the commandments, man. These scriptures, which is known as precepts in Isaiah 28 and 9 and 10, is commandments of the Lord, man. This is First Corinthians. First Corinthians 3 and 18. It reads, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, why does it say in this world? Let him become a fool that he may be wise. See, the wisdom of this world is foolishness. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. What's vain mean? The word vain
Strong's G 3152. Mateos. Mateos.
Devoid of force, truth, success, results, useless, of no purpose, empty. That's what vain mean. Empty, vanity, profitless. The wisdom of the so-called white man is emptiness, man. Okay? This is Isaiah 29 and 14. It reads, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among his people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. That's in Habakkuk 1 and 5. For the wisdom of the wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Right? I read Jeremiah 49 and 7. The Lord has taken away the wisdom from the elites, man, which they never had none, because the wisdom of the elites is foolishness. 1 Corinthians 1 and 19. There's some points I want to make, man. It reads this. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And the so-called white man has lost the information war, man. He has lost that war, man. The U.S. has been at war 225 years out of 243 of them, man, through their so-called wisdom, which is foolishness, which is prophecy. So 90% of the rulership of the elites in this era has been in war, man. 90% of their time in their last empire has been in war. Let me get this. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and 22. It reads, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither any time the counsel of sinners prudence. There is a wickedness and the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. And it's the elites, it's the Edomites that want wisdom. Because I tell you in Job 28 that the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shah is not found in the earth, man. John 3 and 27, it reads, nothing can be given except to be given from the Lord of heaven, man. See, Esau looking for this wisdom. Let's read this again. Ecclesiastes 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. There is a wickedness and the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. See, they want the wisdom of the Lord, but they can't get it. Now, this is Ecclesiasticus 24. Listen to this. Ecclesiastes 24. And I'm going to read 27. This is the Lord, right? He maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light, and as Gion in the time of vintage. It reads, the first man knew her not perfectly, which was Adam. No more shall the last find her out. For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounded than the great deep. When you start in this chapter, the wisdom said they're gonna dwell in Israel. It's Ecclesiastes 24, 1 through 6. Listen, this is Ecclesiastes 24 and 30. I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden. This is what the Lord did with his wisdom. I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. This is talking about the Israelites. Because only it say, many shall be called, but only a few chosen. The remnant is a small number. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out darkness prophecy and leave it to all ages. So in Deuteronomy 32, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak. Deuteronomy 32 and 1. And hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahweh, ascribe ye greatness unto our power. So the wisdom of the world is foolishness with the Lord, but it's prophecy. This is my closing precept. Because these bells, oh, no, I want to get this too. Let's read this in Ezekiel. Because everything that the so-called white man got, the Lord gave it to him. Ezekiel 35 in verse 11. Thus, it say, therefore as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Right? It say, Ezekiel 35 in verse 12, in verse 14, thus saith Yahweh power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. And thou shalt, it said, and thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, which is all 12 tribes, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee, thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Now, this is a precept linked with that. Revelations 13 and 5. Because the Lord gave these Edomites this power. Revelation 13 and 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, which is what? Their knowledge of the world, which the Lord called it foolishness in 1 Corinthians 3, 18 and 19. I'm going to read it again. Revelation 13 and 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell therein. See? So in that First Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 3 and 18, it reads, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And this is Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, which is the elites. And they have lost the information war. They are destroyed, man. Because wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai's knowledge. Okay, their knowledge is confusion, but it's prophecy of the Lord, man. And the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai is stability. Not what the so-called white man said it is. And we don't need the so-called white man's validation, man. We never did. We was under a spell for a time. But then the Lord reactivated you to this truth. Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, ready to accept it or not. In a sincere salutation to all the octane pushing this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the whole elect. Shalom to the wealth who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning, the opportunity in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your houses, May the blessing of election be upon your house. Until next time, I say Shalom, Wa or Baba. Their knowledge is confusion, which is prophecy. Because in Genesis 3 and 14, the Lord said that at the end of the so-called white man's rulership, he will lay back down in the dust. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. The prophecy of the Edomite was always to go back to the basis of men. Shalom. Wa or Baba.